guys, it's the History Nerd, and we are back with another exciting episode of Crusader Kings 2, Eastern Roman Empire. Let's go ahead and unpause the game and see what the future has in store. Where we last left off, we were able to gain Azerbaijan from the Seljuks, and there is one thing that I do want to check, because it was mentioned in the comments, and I thought I had been looking at this correctly, but I might not have been. Shia... Sunni. Huh. Who knew? So my fears of the Seljuks and the Fatimids working together to fight each other, or to fight with each other against me, completely off base. So that's good. I'm not sure if they ever were together, or if this is just something that I made up in my head to prevent me from going to war. I don't really know, but that is good information to have. That being said, war with the Fatimids is kind of off the menu, if you will. Although we do have the ability to outbuild them. Well, it certainly looks like my personal dependency, or my personal troop limit, has dropped down considerably. So we should spend some money to do something about that. The unfortunate thing is we don't have that much money to spend to do anything about it, but hey, that's okay. Perfect. We got people converting, and that is really all that matters to me. And even though our personal levy limits are pretty low, 4,000 troops in my personal retinue, that's not bad. I'll go with it. So yeah, just an FYI to all of you out there who might be commenting and you know, as this play goes on, saying things like, History Nerd, what's going on? You're not your usual smart, snappy, wonderful self. I met some friends after work today for a couple of pints, so my brain might be going a little bit slowly. Such is life. That should boost up our... There we go, that's what I'm looking for. So yeah. We had success against the Seljuks. We will hopefully continue to have success against the Seljuks as well. Let him rot. Let's see what we've got going on. Unfortunately, 11 prisoners, that is a lot to deal with. Whoops. Especially if I start hitting the wrong button. But we want to just basically ransom as many as we can, get some money, and then move on with life. One thing I would enjoy, and I have seen it in other mods out there, would just be a ransom all. That would be a very nice, handy button to have, but you know what? That's okay. We've managed to ransom everybody we can ransom, and everyone else can just rot in my cells for the rest of their life. Why not? Let's see. We do have this to worry about. The last bit of the Duchy of... Can't see the name because of the troops, but that's okay. Dulja until 1102. So we got a couple years to sit back, relax, and let time take its course. Although, as I'm looking at the map, the Hashemids here, that would probably be a good thing to go for. We do have a truce with the Seljuks, who are the other major Sunni powers, and we've certainly got enough troops kicking around to take care of this guy. So let's take my personal retinue, move them over into Lori, and then we can complete the conquest of Azerbaijan. And in fact, we could even keep this guy as a vassal. He should go to our good friend Nikitas here, and hopefully that won't wind up causing splits in the empire a couple hundred years from now. I've only had one real experience where I've gone into the late 1200s, early 1300s, and it didn't seem to be a problem. Granted, that is one case, and in Paradox games, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's always going to go smoothly. I don't know why we're proselytizing in a region where people are converted, but let's take a look. We got no heresies popping up, which is always a wonderful thing, so we might as well try and take care of these monophysites, or myophysites, or whatever they are. Whoops. One more click. There we go, the myophysites. We'll clean that up. Oh, that would explain that. Let's go to that realm view. I was thinking, I'm sure I haven't got the Kingdom of Georgia, and indeed I haven't. They've just got the same religious color as I do. The assassins spread to Syria. The Hashishans, the elusive order of assassins, have expanded their influence into Syria. A branch of their sect has established itself in the mountain fortress of Masyaf. Probably pronouncing that wrong, I do apologize. From where they control the surrounding countryside, all across the Holy Land, the assassins are now hunting those they see as obstacles to their obscure plans. Perhaps these Hashishans should be taken seriously. Nah, they're just hash smokers. They won't cause problems. As you stroll through your palace garden with Adu Constantinios, you see the brief glint of reflected sunlight on metal as a thrown dagger flashes past and buries itself in your friend's throat. Your bodyguards rush to your safety, but you glimpse a robed assassin scurrying over the palace walls. The Hashishans! Hashishans! There we go. Was I the intended target? My word. Well, this isn't good, is it? Because now you're the do. Can I not click you? There we go. At least he still likes us. But it is always concerning when you lose a duke. Who's the landed guy? The Dew of Mesopotamia. Yeah, you'll do. You'll do. Scheme for me. Ooh, but you do not like me. We need to give you... No, not a landed title. Sure, that should help, and this should make sure you don't do anything untowards the Empire. And it looks like we got one more of those friendly little titles to pass out. And indeed we do. Perfect. The Dew of Samnos likes us. I like it. Let's get this out of the way. Go to you. And hey, Basilius, how's it going? Here's an honorary title. Oh, wait. We gotta wait for you to get old. I remember that now. So now where is... I wish there was a way to go to him on the map, but that's okay. Smyrna. Oh, that is exactly where we went to. He loves us. So let's move on, perhaps, to Charsenian here, which could certainly do with a little bit of diplomatic influencing. None of those titles I want to create. We could press a claim on the Kingdom of Sweden, which is tempting. But I don't think we will. What we'll probably do around 1102 is press the claim for Petroslav here to get the rest of that dukedom, duchy, do, however you want to say it. And we also need to come up with a fancy-dancy, wonderful way to take the Kingdom of Georgia, but I think first and foremost, we'll take care of that. Osir, get in there. Slaughter those 131 men and take the province. It is, I don't believe I've got any traits that would cause me to think that that is appropriate, so it is not appropriate. Thank you for the free piety. That'll come in handy as we're fighting religious enemies. Concerningly, we're reaching the year 1100, and this is exactly the event I was looking for. Christian pilgrims to the Holy Land suffer all manners of abuse, and the routes are not safe. In order to protect the pilgrims and secure Jerusalem for Christ and the faithful, His Holiness Pope Vigilus II, that is a very good name for a pope, has accepted the possibility of an outright invasion by joint Christian forces. This signals a new era of large-scale Christian holy wars, the Crusades. God wills it. Critically, the Byzantine Empire wills it because when the Crusaders show up to take the Kingdom of Jerusalem, we'll be able to snipe some land. Well, the Fatimids are naturally busy. I'm sure he's not a heretic. Let's just nip that in the bud now. His Holiness Pope Vigilus II has been swayed by the cries for help from the Christian population in the Kingdom of Jerusalem. He urges all able-bodied men of Europe to take up arms against the evil Caliph Al-Mustansir II in order to secure Jerusalem from the clutches of the Mohammedan infidels. God will grant the pilgrims remissions of sins in heaven. It's really not a concern of ours. It's really more out of personal interest. and indeed some would argue personal greed, but I'm not going to get that into it. Because really, it's not my place to judge. It's just my place to take advantage of the situations that present themselves to us. So yeah, things, I would say, are going fairly well. Once we take this province, we'll be close to taking the last due over in the west. And then we should be strong enough, in my head anyway, especially if we can incorporate the Kingdom of Georgia somehow. But we should be strong enough to take that kingdom sooner than later and bring together our two little branches of the empire. Sharing borders is always critical and important. Looks like one of my sisters is ready to get herself married off to someone. One of my dues, so that is good. One of my dukes. Sam knows. Was that him? Ah, indeed it is. You, sir, have one last thing. We need to give you an honorary title. You're an Antipathos. Without question. So this is good. Okay, he understands what a benevolent and peaceful ruler I am. This is good. All of my important vassals like me a lot. Obviously, Nicofurious here could do with some improvements, but getting the top 4, basically getting these guys, that's what matters. So 3,000, 6,000, 9,000 basically. Those guys should remain loyal to me till the end of my reign, and hopefully, for the reign of my son, whenever we have him. Thankfully, I'm getting up in age, so when my heir does come along, as I hope he does, he'll be nice and young when he takes the throne instead of an old man and having a tougher time to secure the throne for himself. That's the way my head is thinking anyway. We'll see what the game presents itself for us. Oh, look at that. Well, we could easily split our forces and select that army and go after those 131 men. They're not doing any damage, but really, 131 men running around the countryside of one of my provinces? That's not going to fly. So go ahead, rejoin the army now that we've successfully taken care of that quote-unquote threat. We should be able to take the rest of the provinces fairly easily. We don't have enough numerical superiority to just assault the holdings. That's fine. I'm not concerned about that. And obviously, if I were to raise troops, we'd be able to get this siege done much, much quicker at the risk of, you know, causing our vassals to not really appreciate our calling up of their forces for a war that we basically don't need them for. I'd rather keep the vassals nice and happy and, what do you want? Okay, well, I mean, it looks like he's just willing to surrender here, right? Accept. Thank you. You've got that under your control, Duke. You can do as you please with that title. We've got 2 years, basically, to kill before we're able to finish off the Duke of Dukia, however you pronounce that. Good news all around. We can finish it off and get nice clean borders on the Western Front. To then focus on cleaning up the East. Although the East isn't looking that bad, aside from the Kingdom of Georgia, of course, which we'll need to take and dismantle. It also looks like the Seljuk little rebellion that was going on there has been handedly taken care of. Not surprising for anyone involved, I would imagine. I'd like to see, though, who's involved in the Crusade. East Anglia, Sicily, England, the Isles, Kildare, Sicily, Leinster, Thames, Munster, Bosnia, Tyrone, Scotland, Aquitaine, Northumberland, Tyrconnell, and Galloway. Well, I would put my bets on Sicily. The King of Sicily, of course, not the, well, I mean the Duke or the King. Either one. Perhaps even Aquitaine, but she can rot, I believe. Yeah, let her rot. None of her family is willing to pay for her to return, so why would I send her back? What have we got here? Threats. Oh, well, those are... None of those are a concern. I don't need to worry about any of the factions brewing up in the Empire. We'll be able to handily take care of anything that our vassals tend to throw at us. What have we got? My nephew is in desperate need of education. Looks like he might be a good candidate, actually, for a religious education. Why not? There you go, sir. Have yourself some fun. And we've got some money to spend, so let's spend it. We're going to need probably, well... I almost swallowed my tongue when a friendly courtier paid his respects to me. He thought I was displeased with him, and he left perplexed. I think I lost his respect. Well, that's a horrible way to lose 2 prestige. Thankfully, we've got 3,000 of it, so that's not a concern. What do we want to build? Either the barracks or the cataphract training ground, and I think the cataphract training ground would be the best bet. While we're at it, we'll see if any of these could make use, and I would... Well, I think I'm going to save up for a keep in Thrake. Granted, I don't really plan on keeping Thrake, so we'll just have to see how the game plays out. I haven't had a need to give it to anybody yet, so it stays in my hands, but it's a nice ace in the hole for a second son who is unlanded and of legal age, and, you know... For instance, if these daughters were sons, obviously we'd have the actual heir of the empire, but we'd have a second one who'd be like, well, we got to do something with him. He'd become the Count of Thrake. I think that's just the good way to do it. The other thing we can do, and the other thing that I plan on doing as time goes on, is in these slots, building up the barony holdings for my children and just sort of spreading them around the empire. Putting quote-unquote imperial allies wherever I can. And the nice thing about that is that, you know, they're never really strong enough to be a threat, but they certainly are there. And this guy, these guys, they're still holding on to their Sunni faith. Unwilling, of course, to convert, but that will change, especially with the religion of the province being Orthodox. I would imagine they're not going to be hanging around that long. Let's go ahead and get our men in position for the war that will be coming in about a year. Always best to plan these things ahead. Hopefully this guy survives. He's got 1 more year left, so he should be able to make it. We'll see. Does he have any actual heirs? He does. So, push comes to shove, we can always push the claim for Marco. But pushing it for his son is probably better. A man claiming to be a lord who disappeared 7 years ago has found his way to my castle. He sings of the fair queen of Elfland, and some say his songs are prophetic. Long lost, but home again. He's finally found his way home. I think I'd like to try and get that kind trait. I don't have it, so let's get it. And there we go. A boost to diplomacy, vassal opinion, same trade opinion. Wonderful. And the diplomacy boost is always good to have. Looks like we got Venice spreading its reach already off the island and into the, well, the Croatian coast. Something to keep an eye on. But it doesn't really look like too many trading republics have set up a claim. We've got Venice there. Who have we got here? We've got Ancona. And anybody else trading in the old empire? Doesn't really look like it. Shortage of troops? Never. That is good. So yeah, we've just got 2 merchant republics trading in our realm. That's fine by me. We don't need those Western European Catholics coming in and telling us what to do. My mission to Tyana has so far been a success. During my visit to the court of Nicophorus II, seem to have managed to make him understand what a benevolent and peaceful ruler you really are. And he sends his regards. Well, let's take a look at my vassals and see how that's going. 159. All right. Well then, I guess you are a new duke. You're kind of new to this game. Let me tell you how it goes. Stay loyal to the Empire, and the Empire will stay loyal to you. Because that's my motto. We'll see if I'm able to keep it going. All right. Well, we haven't got too much time left. But sinister forces at his court have been hard at work to discredit my every move. That's not good. That's fine. I'm insulted. I guess that's what happened. You should be better than that, sir. You're rank 17. When does this truce end? Let's go back to the province view. 22nd of July. Well, this might put a damper on things. We do have a peasant rebellion. Where, though? Not in Malta. That's good. Not in any of my other islands. Ah, well, I would suppose that's where that is going. Ah, I see him. Hiding behind a battle between my vassals. Thanks to the unfortunate no crown authority in the Empire. Something we'll have to fix with your heir, sir. Please have a son. Make my life much easier. We can kick this up to speed 4, get these troops marching east much, much quicker. We can see 4,600 men. That's not good. Let's get these guys up. Give ourselves a bit of a numerical advantage. 6,100 men should be able to take care of this no problem. Let's resign you, because you're not a very good leader at all, and put Pamphilios, Baron, in charge. Wonderful. You can probably do better than a 12 as well. Might as well throw that guy in. And get him marching into Amisos. It certainly looks like we're going to be taking a river crossing penalty on the attack here, but that's okay. We'll eat the casualties if we have to. Supporters of the blue and green chariot teams have clashed as the Hippodrome and at the Hippodrome, and riots have broken out. The city guard is fighting to contain the situation, but the Varangian guard is also standing by. They would make mincemeat of any of the hooligans before the riot has a chance of spreading to other districts, but there could be significant collateral damage. That's why I have them. Hundreds of riding chariot supporters are hacked down as the axe-wielding Norsemen charge into their ranks. Many attempt to flee, but the Varangians give chase and show no mercy to those they catch. The streets are littered with the mangled corpses of hooligans and a few dozen innocent bystanders. The Varangians are a blunt hammer to be wielded with care. Such is the fate of those who oppose me. Let's make sure they realize this. Only an 8% war score victory there, but we certainly did knock down most of their fighting strength. Not sure why we're only taking very minuscule amounts of victory points here. Doesn't matter. We've got them killed. Way down here, huh? What are you ranked? 10? That's still fine. Not concerned about that at all. No, those are not against me. Let's move ourselves into Raskia here. Oh, wait. Before we do that, we'll have to lower that. Thank you for admitting defeat. Makes my life much easier. Get over there, men. Dude, Nicoferius has challenged you to a friendly game of Tizankian at the Tizankinsterian Stadium in Constantinople. This popular Byzantine game can trace its origins back to the Sassanid Persia and features two teams on horseback using sticks with nets to get a leather ball into the opposing team's goal. I'm always up for a game of polo, and we spend a wonderful afternoon leaving the stadium as friends. Perfect. A little friendly competition. between vassals and their leaders, their rulers, their lords over them. That's the way to keep your people happy. Here's why I can't. Cryos. Because he's a dick. Yeah, that's as diplomatic as I need to get. Almost there. Come on, guys. And I would like to get you guys back up to 4,000, but I don't think we really need to worry about it that much. Count Arsinios is asking us to deal with an assassination attempt inside our realm. You get a claim, good sir. Young sir, I should say. Let's go ahead and put Trang in charge. That should be good. We've got a little bit longer there to get our men back up to snuff. No matter how discreet I've been with my lover, my Ermintrude still manages to grow suspicious of my behavior. I think I might have tried too hard to be inconspicuous. Tell her it's none of her business. We'll get proud. Oh, tell her you do important things. I am the Basilius of an entire empire, my lady. Sometimes that takes me away from things. And make empty promises to her about spending more time. Spend more time at home as she wishes. That humble trait, not necessary. Proud, however, that little boost of monthly prestige. That's what I like to see. We're close enough here. We'll wait till July the 1st. Maybe a little bit further. Maybe we'll wait till August the 1st here. The majority of the population in Annie has been converted to the Orthodox faith. That is exactly what I like to see. There we go. We're back up to full snuff here. We have a de jure claim. Do we not have the claim on his... No, we've got a weak claim on the duchy. So we should be able to take this. Why am I not seeing it? Count, count, count. That is a bit of a concern. I would have assumed that we could have pressed this claim a bit better. I don't want to just take account for old Theosherastios here. I don't think we have much of a choice. This is unfortunate. I don't know why I cannot press your claim. Yeah, for some reason I am not able to press this claim anymore. I don't know what happened, how this snuck away from us. We're going to have to pick and choose between these two lands, and I think it's not really a choice. 51.9 wealth, or 19.8. We're taking Dubrovnik here. So let's go ahead and take that. In fact, considering the size of troops that we do have, there we go. That should handedly take care of both of them. Perfect. Now it's just a matter of sitting back, letting these sieges occur. Although we already have a 67% war score. We won't have to siege too much for this to become a successful operation. Flatter and soothe. It's the way I rule. Speaking of... yeah, we're working on it. Man, my wife hates me. Why is she a rival of all things? A son was born to my half-brother Prince Theodolius of the Byzantine Empire, named David. Thankfully, it doesn't look like he's got... Well, no, he will have a claim on the throne, which is concerning considering I'm sitting here with nothing but daughters. I think it might be getting up to the time, I should say, of perhaps enjoying the pleasure of women of the evening. We'll send you to Azerbaijan. Have fun over there, my dear. We're sitting in an 80% war score. This last one should fall pretty damn quickly. My daughter, my first daughter, my eldest daughter, who does not have a claim on anything. We'll have to find her a nice king. Perhaps the King of Castile. That looks like a good idea. Perhaps should have taken a look at how old this guy is. 8. Well, that's fine. Let's see. Gains the county of Dubrovnik. We will accept that. Thank you. I would have preferred, of course, to actually get the land. Regardless, we're going to need to put somebody in charge of this. And I would assume... Oops. No. We can probably just take someone from court. And Germanos, you're a eunuch, so that might not be the best idea. Let's go back. My half-brother. Yeah, there we go. We'll give you a count. Landed title. County of Regua. Include the lower titles. Beautiful. Now, am I able to usurp a title here? One would assume that I could. Right? Because, I mean, really... cannot usurp the primary title off of a ruler of another religion who still holds land within it. That's a shame. Would I actually... Let me just check this. Nope, I would not. Although these guys are Catholic, so let's actually do that. Make sure they become Orthodox, not Byzantine. Byzantine is not a religion. And how's the crusade coming along? Have they taken any land yet? My prisoner, Mamlam Kur Mamlan, is complaining about his dark cell in his dungeon. Let the kid rot. Nobody wants to pay for him, so that's what we're left doing. Who has control of that? The Papal States themselves. We can see the Kingdom of Scotland is coming along, taking some land, as is the Kingdom of Sicily. So good on Scotland for making it down here. Was not expecting that. How big are they? Not big enough, really. Well, big enough to make a little bit of a difference. Not big enough to perhaps take the Kingdom of Jerusalem all for themselves. I don't feel too well. Something is wrong with me. I'm burning up with fever. My nose is running. My head feels as if someone is banging something hard against it. Well, please, please kill me. Before you die, Emperor, please. Have yourself a son, man. Make life easy for us. With a wife who hates me, though, that might be a little bit difficult. We could easily get a divorce, and that is tempting, actually. Yeah, I think that might have to be the route. She's 30 already, lustful, but she does not like us at all. And I have a feeling that's kind of putting limits on the amount of children we can have together, especially considering she thinks I'm a rival. So it might not be a bad idea to send this German Catholic lady back to the lands whence she came. Find myself a new young wife. Thank you, Ecumenical Patriarch. We need to find a lovely lady for me to marry. Duchess of Brabant, Countess. Alright, so there's really nothing going on there. Let's check the old religion. See if we can find ourselves a good Orthodox lady. This will probably be half of, well, a little under half of the ladies that I can potentially marry. We're going to be looking for a good diplomatic candidate, obviously with good skills and traits, because, hey, that's what we're looking for. Ugly certainly does not count. Elusive shadow, gregarious, kind, content, zealous, and brave. Those skills, those are looking pretty good. Get myself a nice Russian lady. The equivalent of mail-order brides, I would guess. Gray Eminence, though. Zealous, gluttonous, just, content, and envious. Not sure about that one. And what do we got here? Just, cruel, brave, zealous, wroth, honest, humble. The concern is, of course, the lack of the diplomatic skills, but the boost in military and stewardship, and that's not bad. Greedy, kind, craven, zealous. Yeah, we don't really want any craven ladies. Who's the best diplomat that we've got an option on here? Lots of kind. Certainly seems to be a popular trait. You know, this Italian lady here might not be that bad. We'll go with her. Alfonsina! Lovely girl. Perfect. People respect wealth. Let me take back some of that prestige I lost for marrying the daughter of a count. The fever is gone and my nose is dry. The headache is long gone and I feel alive once again. Apparently the best cure for the common cold for Basilios. Getting himself a nice young new wife. On that note, I think this is going to be a great place to leave the video for today. So, thumbs up if you have enjoyed this video. Leave your comments, questions, concerns, thoughts, jokes, musings, what have you below. Thank you all very much for watching. And we'll see you next time.